As we journey through life, the years leave their mark not only on our bodies, but also on our spirits. Regret, fear, and resistance quietly accumulate, weighing down the soul and dimming its light. Yet within these challenges lies the opportunity for transformation. The wisdom of Zen and Buddhist teachings reminds us that even in the twilight of life, the soul can be renewed, its vitality reclaimed. The soul, like a river, flows forward despite the rocks and obstacles that may appear. It is not bound by the past, nor should it be tethered to the fears of the future. Through introspection, compassion, and purposeful action, we can unburden ourselves, letting go of the things that drain our energy and discovering the profound joy that comes with a lighter, freer spirit. This exploration delves into the hidden forces that sap the soul's vitality and offers timeless wisdom to guide us back to the lightness of being. Together, let us uncover the practices and reflections that pave the way toward peace, growth, and renewed purpose. 1. Regret over the past. Regret often follows us into old age, whispering of missed opportunities, wrong choices, and unspoken words. It tethers the soul to moments long gone, preventing us from appreciating the present. The Buddha once said, "The thought manifests as the word manifests as the deed develops into habit, and habit hardens into character." This teaching reminds us of our power to shape our reality, but it also serves as an invitation to transform regret into wisdom. The mind, trapped in an endless loop of what could have been, fuels dissatisfaction, burdens the heart, and drains the vitality needed to embrace the present. Regret is like an old photograph, faded yet vivid enough to haunt the corners of our minds. Each memory carries an emotional weight, be it sadness, guilt, or longing. But what if we viewed regret differently? What if each regret became a teacher rather than a tormentor? Imagine your regrets as seeds. Though buried in the soil of the past, they hold the potential to blossom into wisdom if nurtured correctly. To free the soul from this shadow, begin by forgiving yourself. Forgiveness is not a one-time act, but a practice, a gentle reminder to be kind to yourself. Acknowledge regrets as old friends rather than foes. Welcome them without judgment. Every morning, write down one regret and the lesson it has taught you. Conclude with the mantra, "This lesson is my freedom." Through Zazen meditation, visualize regret as a heavy stone. Picture yourself placing it by a flowing river and watching as the current carries it away. Feel the release and let your spirit lighten. An elderly teacher, haunted by the memory of a student's failure, sat by a stream every day. One morning, he imagined his regret as a stone, releasing it into the water. As the ripples spread, he felt his burden lift. His reflection? The stream of life flows forward. We must let it carry away what weighs us down. Sometimes regret stems from words left unsaid. A woman in her 70s once shared how she regretted never telling her father how much he meant to her before he passed. She carried this regret like a stone in her heart for decades. One day, she decided to write him a letter, pouring out her feelings as though he could still hear her. After placing the letter under a tree where they once sat together, she felt an overwhelming sense of peace. "The words were for him," she said, "but they healed me." Regret also teaches us humility. It reminds us of our imperfections and humanity. By transforming regret into gratitude for the lessons it offers, we reclaim our power. Consider the regret of missed opportunities. Instead of mourning them, reflect on the present opportunities they've illuminated. A man who regretted never pursuing his dream of becoming an artist began painting in his 60s. "The regret never left me," he admitted, "but it became my motivation." Another key to releasing regret lies in the art of storytelling. Share your regrets with a trusted friend or loved one. Speaking them aloud often diminishes their weight, like turning a roaring fire into smoldering embers. Storytelling connects us, showing that regret is a universal experience. Through shared vulnerability, we find both solace and strength. Visual exercises can also help. Imagine your life as a vast, flowing river. Regrets are the rocks along the riverbed. While they may shape the current, they do not stop the water from flowing. Close your eyes and visualize this river, feeling its steady movement. As you meditate, let the river's flow become your mantra. I am the river. I move forward. In the end, regret is not our enemy, but a call to awaken. It beckons us to live more intentionally, to cherish the present moment with the wisdom of the past. Each day is an opportunity to rewrite the story of our lives. As the Zen saying goes, you cannot step into the same river twice. Embrace the flow, let go of the stones, and allow the river of life to carry you forward. 2. Fear of mortality. The inevitability of death often casts a long shadow, creating a quiet anxiety that distances us from the beauty of life. This fear is rooted in the illusion of separation, the mistaken belief that our existence is a singular, isolated drop rather than a part of the vast ocean of life. Zen wisdom teaches that only by releasing the fear of dying can we truly learn to live. This fear narrows our perspective, making life seem fleeting and fragile. Clinging to illusions of permanence only leaves the soul restless. To reclaim peace, sit quietly and meditate on impermanence. Picture a leaf falling, returning to the earth, nourishing new life. Reflect on life's cycles with affirmations such as, "What is born will die, what is gathered will disperse." This is liberation. Live fully in each moment, savoring simple joys like a sunrise, a cup of tea, or the laughter of a loved one. One elderly woman, upon being diagnosed with a terminal illness, decided to write a journal not of despair but of gratitude. She documented every small joy: the bird song at dawn, the taste of ripe fruit, the warmth of her dog curled by her side. "Facing death," she wrote, "taught me how to truly live." Her journal became a testament to the beauty of the ordinary and a reminder that life's greatest treasures often lie in the simplest moments. A Zen master once showed his students a blooming flower. Days later, as it withered, he remarked, "Even in its decay, it enriches the soil." Life's end is not an end, but a transformation. This reflection reminds us that death is not a thief, but a natural rhythm of existence. Like the changing seasons, life transitions in cycles, each carrying its own beauty and purpose. Another way to embrace mortality is to practice being fully present in your interactions. A man in his 80s began hosting gratitude dinners for his family and friends, where the only rule was to express appreciation for one another. "I may not have many dinners left," he said, "but I can fill the ones I have with love." These moments became cherished memories for all who attended, illustrating how the acceptance of mortality can deepen the connections we share. To further embrace this truth, consider the perspective of legacy. What seeds are you planting today that will continue to grow after you are gone? A teacher once told his students, "You are not the fruit, you are the tree. Your fruits nourish the world, but your roots endure." Reflect on how your actions and values contribute to the greater whole, and find peace in the knowledge that your essence will persist through the lives you've touched. Finally, remember that impermanence is what makes life precious. Imagine holding a fragile, hand-blown glass. Its beauty lies in its fragility, its uniqueness in the knowledge that it could break. Life, too, is fragile and finite, but this very quality makes it extraordinary. Embrace the fleeting nature of existence and allow it to heighten your appreciation for every breath, every smile, every shared moment. In this awareness, the fear of mortality dissolves, replaced by a profound sense of gratitude and awe. 3. Isolation from others. As connections fade with age, isolation can creep in quietly, wrapping the soul in a heavy cloak of loneliness. The Buddha emphasized the importance of community, teaching that admirable friendship, companionship, and camaraderie are the whole of the holy life. Human connection is not just a luxury, but a necessity, a lifeline for the soul. Loneliness clouds the heart, deprives the spirit of purpose, and diminishes the sense of belonging. Without meaningful connections, we wither. The path to reconnection begins with small, deliberate acts of generosity and love. In Buddhist teachings, the practice of dana, or generosity, holds transformative power. Volunteering at a local shelter, lending a listening ear to a neighbor, or simply smiling at a stranger are acts that ripple outward, creating bridges of connection. Generosity has the power to dissolve the walls of isolation and replace them with a sense of shared humanity. One elderly woman, feeling invisible in her community, decided to leave small notes of encouragement in her neighbors' mailboxes. Her messages were simple: a compliment, a kind wish, or a word of gratitude, but they sparked an unexpected ripple effect. Neighbors began reaching out, expressing appreciation and initiating conversations. Over time, these small notes wove a tapestry of connection that transformed her life. "I thought I was invisible," she said, "but I realized I just needed to be the one to reach out." Another powerful practice to counter isolation is loving kindness meditation, or metta. Begin by sending thoughts of love and well-being to yourself. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be at peace. Once this feeling of warmth fills your heart, extend it to others' loved ones, acquaintances, and even strangers. This meditation fosters a sense of unity and shared existence, reminding us that we are never truly alone. Storytelling is another bridge that reconnects us to others. Sharing your experiences, struggles, and joys creates a bond that transcends superficial barriers. A retired teacher began hosting story circles in her home, inviting neighbors to share their life stories. These gatherings not only dissolved her loneliness, but also created a sense of community among attendees. "Our stories are threads," she said, "and together we weave something beautiful." Reconnecting with old friends can also rekindle the warmth of companionship. Reach out with no expectations but an open heart. A simple phone call, a handwritten letter, or a visit can reignite bonds thought to be lost. One man in his late 70s reconnected with a childhood friend after decades of silence. "It was as though no time had passed," he said. "We laughed, reminisced, and found joy in the shared memories that once seemed buried." Isolation can also be countered by embracing hobbies and activities that involve others. Joining a book club, taking a yoga class, or attending community events offers opportunities to meet like-minded individuals. A widow who joined a gardening group described it as finding light in the darkness. Through shared work and conversation, she not only found friends, but also rediscovered her passion for nurturing life. Finally, recognize that the feeling of loneliness is a shared human experience. In acknowledging this universality, we find comfort and strength. A Zen monk once said, "When you sit quietly and listen, you will hear the hearts of others. In their hearts, you will find your own." By cultivating presence and openness, we create space for connection to flourish. The antidote to isolation lies not in grand gestures, but in small, consistent acts of love and generosity. By reaching out to others, we illuminate not only their lives, but also our own. Each connection, no matter how small, becomes a thread that strengthens the fabric of our shared humanity. Attachment to material possessions. In old age, accumulated possessions can feel like anchors, weighing down the spirit and cluttering the mind. The Buddha warned, "The root of suffering is attachment." This attachment to material items ties the mind to external things, creating fear of loss and distracting us from true inner peace. These possessions, once symbols of achievement or comfort, can become a burden, trapping the soul in the physical rather than freeing it to soar. To reclaim the soul, one must embrace the art of letting go. Start small. Each week, choose one item to release: a book gathering dust, clothing unworn for years, or trinkets that no longer spark joy. As you let go, express gratitude for the role each item played in your life. Reflect on whether it's the object itself or the memories it evokes that hold true meaning. Simplify your life by embracing the Zen principle. Less is more. A retired craftsman, overwhelmed by his tools, once found himself unable to step into his workshop. The clutter, a testament to decades of dedication, had become stifling. One day he decided to gift his tools to aspiring young artisans in his community. "They carry my legacy forward," he said, "while freeing my soul." In giving away what once defined him, he discovered a profound sense of liberation and lightness. This process is not about renouncing everything, but about redefining your relationship with possessions. Imagine your home as a serene temple, each item carefully chosen to contribute to your peace. Remove the excess, and you'll find clarity not only in your space, but also in your mind. 5. Resistance to change is life's only constant, yet it often feels like an unwelcome guest. Resistance creates a tension that stifles growth, leaving the soul stuck in a loop of fear and rigidity. The Buddha taught, "Nothing is permanent, everything is subject to change." Embracing this truth allows us to align with life's natural rhythms, opening our hearts to new experiences and our minds to fresh insights. A widower struggled deeply after the loss of his wife, clinging to the routines they had shared, unwilling to alter even the smallest details of his day. Over time, he found solace in gardening. Planting seeds and watching them grow taught him that change, like growth, begins beneath the surface. Life goes on, he reflected, not by erasing the past, but by building upon it. To embrace change, approach each day with curiosity. Instead of resisting what feels unfamiliar, ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? Life's transitions, no matter how unsettling, often carry hidden gifts. Moving to a new city might lead to meaningful friendships. Retiring from a long career could open doors to hobbies or passions long neglected. In Zen, the beginner's mind is a state of openness and eagerness, free from preconceptions. When we adopt this mindset, we see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity. A woman in her 70s joined a painting class after retiring, hesitating at first, thinking she was too old to start something new. Yet as she painted her first canvas, she discovered a joy she hadn't felt in decades. It's never too late to begin again, she realized. Imagine a river flowing over rocks and around bends. It doesn't resist the obstacles in its path, but moves with grace and adaptability. This is the essence of Wu Wei, the Taoist principle of effortless action. By aligning ourselves with life's natural flow, we find peace amidst uncertainty. A retired school teacher facing a sudden health challenge turned to yoga, something she'd always been curious about but never tried. I stopped fighting what I couldn't control, she said, and in doing so, I discovered strength I didn't know I had. Every change carries the seed of transformation. Just as a caterpillar sheds its cocoon to become a butterfly, we too must let go of the old to make room for the new. Reflect on a recent change in your life. What did it teach you? How did it help you grow? Journaling about these experiences can bring clarity and insight. A man who lost his job began volunteering at a food bank, initially seeing it as a way to pass the time. It soon became a passion. Losing my job was a blessing in disguise, he said. It led me to a purpose I never knew I needed. Resistance to change often stems from fear of losing control, fear of failure, or fear of the unknown. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion when you feel resistance rising. Pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, this too is part of the journey. Visualize change as a wave approaching the shore. Instead of bracing against it, imagine riding the wave, letting it carry you forward. Feel the freedom that comes from surrendering to the flow. Flexibility is a hallmark of resilience. Like a tree bending in the wind, we grow stronger when we adapt. Try small acts of flexibility in your daily life. Experiment with a new recipe, take a different route on your walk, or learn a skill you've always been curious about. One elderly man began learning a new language after retiring. At first it felt impossible, he admitted, but each day I learned a little more. Now I can have simple conversations, and it's given me a sense of accomplishment I never expected. As the Buddha taught, everything is subject to change. This truth, though daunting, is liberating. It reminds us that life is a continuous journey of becoming. Reflect on the changes in your life. What lessons have they taught you? How have they shaped who you are today? Embrace these reflections as a source of wisdom and strength. In the end, resistance to change is resistance to life itself. By aligning with the natural rhythms of existence, we find peace, growth, and a renewed sense of purpose. Let each change guide you forward, trusting that every twist and turn is leading you exactly where you need to be. The journey back to wholeness. Life's greatest transformations often come from its most unexpected turns. Change, though unsettling, is a guide, a quiet invitation to grow, to let go, and to discover the resilience within. By embracing the flow of life, we unburden ourselves from fear and resistance, reclaiming the freedom to live fully and intentionally. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast river, its current steady and strong. You can choose to resist, to fight against its pull, or you can step into its flow, trusting that it will carry you forward to places unseen but rich with possibility. This is the essence of life itself, a journey not of control but of connection, trust, and renewal. As you navigate life's changes, remember the words of the Zen master: be like water, flow around obstacles, adapt to the path, and find your way with grace. Embrace the lessons of each moment, and let the river of life guide you toward a deeper understanding of your soul's boundless potential.